happened to me was, I'd say 1983. I gave my life to Christ of August 1983. And I went into a regular type church situation, and I really didn't grow in it. I really didn't become any closer to Christ than what I was when I started. And then I ended up walking away and was gone for over a decade. Then the Lord came and got me, and He brought me back. And in that process of bringing me back, I was also, because He loves me, He chastised me, and He brought me into remembrance of Him, and He loves me. And I think that's one of the things I didn't understand then was this whole Christian experience is all based upon one thing, and that's love. And that's it, period. It's like if you go from there, it all starts with love. It started with love, and He is love. And it all grew from that. And in that, over a period of time, my love for Him has grown since He's came and brought me back. And I had to go through a lot of trials, and He brought me through those trials. I almost died in 2008 and spent 5 months in a nursing home, which He brought me through that. The doctor said, I'm not supposed to be alive, according to them, but here I sat talking to you now. So that's all worked through that. That's a long story, and we could spend all day talking about it, but we're not going to but the miracles that happened in that, and what happened on that day I almost died, it was a miracle in itself. So the Lord has blessed me in so many ways, and I asked Him when He came and got me back I just wanted the truth. There's so many stories out there about what a Christian should be and what this belief and that belief. I just wanted, what does God believe? What is the truth? What am I supposed to know? And how am I supposed to live this for Him? And in that process, because I did have the health situation, my children had moved, both my son and daughter had moved to El Reno, and I did have certain health issues at the time. Right now I'm doing pretty good, but they felt that I needed to be here in El Reno, so they tried to get me into this because I am an old timer, you all know that. Get me into Aston on the Green down there, but I wasn't old enough of an old timer, and I didn't meet the age requirement. Close, but no cigar on that one. So I didn't get in there, so I just backed off of it for a while. Time went by, and this other place came up about it, so I applied for it. Well, they had a long process going through that. Well, I'd lived at this apartment complex there in Oklahoma City, and they had sold it to an outfit out of Arkansas, and so it came time to renew the lease, and I hadn't heard from these people, hadn't got anything back from them. So I signed a lease with them. I thought, well, that's going to kind of take that out for at least 12 months, And a couple of weeks after I signed the lease, this place here called and said, we're ready for you. I said, well, it's too bad. So I figured, well, that's gone for now anyway, at least for the next year. Well, come to find out that people from Arkansas actually had bought these 2 apartment complexes here in El Reno. So I went along, I knew that, and I went along a little while, and the Lord was pressing on me, so I basically asked him, I said, well, I've got this lease. Is there any way I could just transfer from this apartment complex to one of them in El Reno? I said, well, we've never done it before. And so what they did, they went and asked the people in Arkansas, and they said, well, sure, we've never done it, but yeah, we can do that. You can just transfer that lease over to the one in El Reno. So basically, I moved to El Reno. Then when I got to El Reno, I'm over here at La Villa, and that's where I moved to. And so I'm just basically right across the street from the church. Well, it's a good thing I was in here because I had cousins that had lived in El Reno before, and I told them after I started attending this church that they'd never heard of it. They didn't know where it was at because the sign wasn't down on the corner, and it kind of set off the side street there. And there's certain places in this town, if you just normally don't go by there, you never think about it. And so anyway, I called up the Southern Baptist in Oklahoma City, and they gave me a list of Southern Baptist churches here in El Reno. But anyway, the Lord has blessed me. I walked by this church here, it's Highland Baptist. There's an old red brick building, looked like, it was on his last leg. He's about to fall down or something, It looked pitiful. And I walked by and had this old sign out there said, Highland Baptist, Independent, Fundamental Baptist. That scares the daylights out of people, So I thought, I don't know if I want to go in there or not. So finally, one day, somebody put one of them little cards on my door. I thought, well, I'll try it. So I went over there. Of course, the first Sunday I come to Highland Baptist Church, it's anniversary day. This Locke kid's preaching, so I don't know who the preacher is. So I said, well, okay. And they all run off after that anyway. They had to go eat somewhere. And so anyway, so I said, well, that means I got to come back next Sunday. So I come back next Sunday. And the only requirement I had was that the Bible be preached. Just the gospel, just Christ, just the book itself, not all this other stuff. I just want to know the truth. That's all I came here for. And I found it here. And I found it. The preacher preaches the truth here. And we're living in a period where I can see we're transitioning over to this 242 church, and I'm loving it because that's the truth. That's where we should be in this. And I hope and I pray that we continue in this, and that with the help of the Holy Spirit, we'll all reach that. So God actually put me in the right place, because if I hadn't got into La Villa and I'd got into either one of them other places, I may never have known about Highland Baptist. So God knew what He's doing. He put me where He wanted me to be, wanted me to live. So all I got to do is get up and walk across the street, and I'm home. I have learned so much about my relationship, because it is a relationship. I mean, the relationship me and you have developed between each other here as you have discipled me, and that there has grown into a friendship and a relationship. And it also, what we have learned here through these concepts and everything about my relationship with God has grown and grown and grown, and continues to grow daily in this. And so, having not been discipled before, I was completely, this is what we need. So now I feel I'm being equipped. Now I can actually go talk to somebody truly and give them the message of Jesus Christ. And I see that, and I didn't get that at any other church. And you won't. You basically won't. It's not there. So I feel that the Lord has blessed me, and He put me here for some reason, and part of that is the discipleship. It's a blessing. Highland Baptist Church is being blessed by God. I see the Holy Spirit at work in this. If you really, truly want to live for Jesus Christ, come here. We'll welcome you in. We're loving people, and you will get the message. You will get the truth, and you will, but you have to work in this church. We just don't sit down and that's it. But you got to be willing to work in it, and you got to be willing to get along with us. This is a great place. We have an excellent pastor. I mean, the messages he gives, he's right on, he's spot on. He teaches the Bible, and I love him, and I love the people in this church. You won't find a better group of people than you will at Highland Baptist Church. And I hope that all of us will be out there, and we'll all be disciples before it's all through, and we'll be discipling others and multiplying that discipleship. Not growing in numbers, but growing in salvations. And hopefully that's where we'll be. You're invited. Come on down. Join us. It's a lot of fun.